I found the man who knows how to do video the best, and he's going to give you the best advice that he can on how to start video. Everyone in radio is wondering how this guy's videos look insane, including me, and I'm sure you want to know. So we're going to get to why his videos look better than everybody else's and how you can get those videos or your videos to look like his. It's Shawn Tempesta, Mix 94.1 in Las Vegas. Tempesta, give me your 5 tips for making video the way you do.
Well, I mean, the way I do it is everything is live. However, you have to figure out what you want to accomplish first. Is what you're doing, does it have to be live? If it doesn't have to be live, then maybe you could put a little bit more post-production into it. You can film it on a phone. You don't necessarily have to have a huge setup like I do. But if you want to have something that's interactive, live's definitely going to want to go. All right, fantastic. So then how do you film yourself? Well, the first things first, if you're going to use your laptop's camera, it probably sucks. Don't use it. You're going to have to use a secondary camera. Now, I started with the camera that I'm actually using right now, which is the Logitech C920. These are relatively inexpensive, $70. They look pretty good. The one thing you definitely need, though, to make it look good is lighting. If I may, let's take this here.
Yeah, perfect.
That's an IKEA, those little puck lights.
Oh, wow.
And that's an IKEA puck light. That's all it is. And the screen is filming me. So if I don't have this, I look grainy. I don't have 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second. It doesn't look great. So make sure that you have great lighting, and make sure you have also great audio. That's the one thing that I see happen all the time on these radio Facebook Lives is that people end up doing it on a phone in the corner of the studio. And here we are in a radio broadcast where we have these amazing microphones in front of us. And we can't hear a freaking thing they're saying because they're talking all the way across the room and we have no direct feed to the camera. So if there's a way, if you're using, let's say, just an iPhone, get a little XLR input, find a way to be able to get the air channel to that to be able to feed the audio that's happening from the board to the phone. So then people that are watching it at least can hear you. That's the biggest thing that I see end up happening wrong. So there's that. It's not just about the video. It's about all the other stuff as well. Having the lighting, having the audio. Yeah.
And that's usually something that you can talk to your engineer about. Everywhere I go, like that's the first thing I ask my engineers. They're like, hey, do you need anything? I'm like, yes, I need an XLR out of the board so that I can put it into my phone. So it's a simple ask to your engineer.
Yeah, and it could also sometimes you have to worry about copyright stuff. So if you're piping it through and they're playing copyright music behind, you have to route certain things. You definitely need your engineer for that. But if it's just a talk show, you could literally just plug into a headphone jack and get it. But whatever it is, make sure the audio is good, because if the audio sucks, what the hell are you doing on radio? Okay, the next thing. Software. So let's say you want to do Facebook Live, and it's not just you're setting your phone up, you're putting it against the console, it's looking at your 5 chins, like, hey guys, how's your day? Yeah, oh, I see you. What's up? Yeah, like that, it's not captivating. If you want to have something and you want to make it a little richer, the way I started was with the OBS. It's absolutely free, open broadcaster software. I've had luck getting 2 webcams to work. I've never had luck getting more than 2. It's usually just an issue with USB and all that stuff. But you get the 2. You have camera 1, camera 2, and then you can have a 2-box. So there we go. You have you and your co-host and then the 2-box. And then you can just have a quick little switch, have a corner logo that you could just put in a little PNG right in the corner. And now all of a sudden you go from having a pretty gimmicky looking, basic, anybody could have done that Facebook Live, to now, oh wait, it's a multi-camera shoot. There's a logo on it, maybe a sponsor logo on it. Great. Now, if you want to get like social media involved and you want to have people dial in, like I use software called vMix. I know you're using Ecamm. There's other stuff that's there that allows it to be way more interactive. That's when you need a heftier computer. You don't necessarily need better cameras, but then the cameras, I use cameras that are about $1,100 each, but they're broadcast quality. Like, it's a write-off. So if you're making good money, if you're doing a morning show, you're making good money, you need the write-offs, you invest in yourself, and now you're not just going to look like a rock star to your station, but you're going to look like a rock star to the next station as well if you have what you believe is a really, really good show. Now, OBS and vMix, that's something where you can cut as you go. You're taking camera 1, taking camera 2, taking camera 3. You're doing that all live. So then when you're done, your edit is as simple as point A, point B, done. If you're not doing that, what I see a lot of other people doing, if you don't want to switch and you have the time to edit afterwards, there are people that like Mahoney over at X1075. He's playing with vMix as well, but when he's in studio, he sets up a few DSLRs, and not really expensive DSLRs, but nice ones, zoomed in on each person, hit record on all of them, and then you have to find them all, make sure they're all lip synced with one another with what was coming out of the board, and then you could edit it. Premiere, I know, is really expensive if people don't have the Adobe Cloud freaking $50 a month thing. But DaVinci Resolve is free, and it's a fantastic editor. You can use that in a heartbeat. So yeah, okay. What are you trying to accomplish? The cameras that you need doesn't have to be the best thing going, but if you light them really well, you don't really notice that they're terrible. The software is incredibly important. And editing, I mean, there are things that are out there now to edit where it doesn't cost you $1,500 to download software. You could just use something for free. You can even edit on your phone and have it look like, really well produced.
How do I learn how to light things? Like, how do I learn what's good lighting and things like that? Where do I find all this information?
I mean, YouTube, start there. I mean, this is why I wish I didn't go to college, because I learned it in college, and it's like, you'll find 9,000 different lighting tutorials. They like to say 3-point lighting. What I do in the radio studio, and it's the morning show, and I end up having a fight over the track lighting. But I will end up going up to the track lighting, and rather than have them point in any random direction, I will point one of those lights directly at my face. And if there's one behind me, I'll point one kind of behind me, or I'll try to get like two, kind of like I have right here, pointing towards me, to be able to create a little bit of depth. So that's kind of getting the bottom right there. That's getting a little bit. You see a little bit of shadow here. It doesn't have to be like this crazy LED setup. Those track lights, it could be just something as simple as that. These LED freaking situations, if you're doing it from the house, oh my God. I mean, these are $25, $20 at IKEA.
Yeah, I thought you were using a much better lighting setup than what you got. Like when you showed me that, I was like, oh, that's all you're using? I got like four lights going here. Your shot looks better than mine.
and LED lights are stupid cheap now. So like, honestly, it just something, just be aware of, it's not just video. High quality audio is just as important as having a camera. High quality lighting, or just lighting, period. Doesn't even have to be super bright. These are not incredibly like blaring. But lighting makes your video look great. So you could take a camera that looks like shit and then have the good lighting and make that camera actually look halfway decent. You can have a really nice camera with no lighting and it will look terrible. You can have a crappy camera with pretty good lighting and it will make it look better than the better camera with bad lighting. Ask your engineer, if you have the track lighting and like some of the track lighting is just for like, hey, lighting the board and stuff like that. You ask the engineer, say, you know what? I totally shot in the dark. Is there any way we could add some more track lighting in here that's on a separate dimmer? And if you do that and okay, we're doing it for the morning show, here are the 3 positions that we need to be lit. You just set things up and then you fade that one up when you're on your show, and then the rest of the day parts can keep it off. The track lighting's cheap. It doesn't have to be these fancy LED, crazy studio lights. They can just be something as simple as that to start. And if you find that there's money behind it, then you can maybe invest in the product more. OBS is a great way to start. These webcams are a great way to start. Is a halfway decent computer. You get a 2-camera shoot with a double box. You could do that tomorrow if you just get 2 webcams. You could do that tomorrow.
One day we'll dive into your actual setup because I need to see what you got going. I saw a Stream Deck, and I'm assuming that I've seen this setup. I like this. I need the pop-up.
I also have this right here. This is a MIDI controller as well. I typically use the Stream Deck just for sound effects, but because of everything that happened with quarantine, like I'm doing everything off this. But these allow me to fade in and out certain guests. So this is its own audio board. And then this is how I switch the cameras. This is how I do graphics, how I censor myself, zoom in and zoom out, how I start recording, how I stream to Facebook. This is like TriCasters cost $13,000.
Yeah.
Just for that, no cameras. This costs $100 and it interfaces with a $700 software. This costs $250 and it interfaces with $700 software. The computer, maybe at most, you would have to spend for like a solid, very stable computer, $2,000. And so now you have a great computer that can game and can do video editing, and now you can do live streaming. And and then you can be really interactive. And the more interactive you are, the more you super serve your P1s, the more attracted and attached they're going to be to you. And the more attracted and attached they are to you, the more likely they are to stick with you on air and online and to boost your numbers. And the more you get your numbers boosted. And also, here's the other thing. If you have PPM encoded audio, we should have mentioned this in the other video as well. If you have PPM encoded audio and you have it in these videos, and you had a really good bit that was like 5 minutes long, but you put it online and maybe people didn't hear that quarter hour, but they listened to that, or maybe they just heard a part of that quarter hour and they watched that whole thing. That might help you win that quarter hour. That might help get you another 1/10 or 2/10 of a share. That might help you hit that bonus. That might help you get to number one. It's all about getting that PPM encoded audio as close to whoever you can. So yes, this is just another opportunity to do that.
Shawn, thank you so much for your tips. The video master, Shawn Tempesta, Mix 94.1. You're on from 2 to 6.
2 to 7. I'm live from 2 to 6, but now I'm actually on 3 to 7 during quarantine. Just whatever they tell me I'm on, I just talk. It's whatever.
And if you haven't checked out his free for all, it was at 4, and now you said it's at 6:30.
Now it's at 7. It's now free for all after dark. We do it at 7 o'clock Pacific, and it's super interactive. We fly in your picture, your funny jokes. We're really irreverent, but we don't push it too far, but we get damn close.
Yeah,
it's Shrek humor. I think a kid can watch it and think it's funny, but then like the parents are watching like, oh boy.
Thank you, and take this advice. Go watch his show. Give Shawn Tempesta a like on Facebook and follow him on Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Shawn Tempesta. Shawn Tempesta across the board.
He keeps it easy.
I'm easy.